So you know what a great way to start off the day is? Finding a sneak peek to the next book by one of your favorite authors. Yeah, so I woke up and I just went on Twitter because it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I went on Twitter because I was waiting to leave, and what do you know, I found a tweet that says that a sneak peek had been given to USA Today Life, right here, I have it pulled up, has received a sneak peek and of the cover and of chapter 2 from Margus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, and I gotta tell ya, this is awesome. So this is like a sneak peek review, and so this is more of a cover sneak peek reaction because it's not just the cover. So the cover, you can't really see much of the cover from the picture that I have. You know, it still looks amazing just based off of what you can even see. You can obviously get the idea. It looks so cool. And then you get the description too. And at first, when I read the description, I will be honest, I kind of had a what moment, because I was reading and I'm like, whoa, you get mixed feelings. Because one, you're like, yes, we are going back to the Lightning Thief. We are starting all over. This kid doesn't know he's a demigod and he's going to have to save the world and go on these adventures, except then you're also like, but wait, I've heard this all before. They did that with Greek. Is it the same with Norse? So, you know, there's that, but as I kept reading it, I started noticing, like, especially, like, differences. I'm like, oh, no, this is different. It's completely different, because one, you're dealing with Norse now. You don't know what that means. I mean, one of the myths has Loki giving birth to a horse. They're a little more messed up than the Greeks. Maybe. It's mythology, people. It is messed up, okay? Anything can happen, but based off of the description, spoilers ahead, and I will post the link in the description below to that Twitter page with the awesomeness of it. And so the spoiler-free section is done. It looks awesome. It seems like it's going to be the same, but it's not. It's that good feeling where you're like, we are going to go back to the beginning and we're going to get everything all over again. But it's not, because it's Norse, and just based off the description that I want you to read and get your own opinion, just based off the description from what I read, it is really different. So, spoiler time. So, like I said, the description looks really different because in the description, they're describing that he has to go find the Sword of Summer. Okay? It's a quest to find, or maybe even make the Sword of Summer, because it said that he actually had to go through all 9 worlds. And if we remember Thor from the first Thor movie explaining all of the worlds, then just picture that and to get a basic concept of it, because that's a whole myth entirely, but there's multiple worlds and you get the idea. And just seeing it, it's like, this is so cool that he has to actually go across everything, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be many other characters. And obviously, like the Norse gods and maybe some people who help along the way, but it doesn't seem like there is a camp for Norse kids, as far as I can tell from the sneak peek and the blurb that they had about it. And I don't really know, like, how is he going to find out what's going to happen? Is he going to be attacked by some monsters too? He probably is, because it's Norse, and he has to go through all the realms. What is he going to find there? And it brings up just a lot of questions, and even the cover does, because I'm going to go into the sneak peek a little bit. The very last line of the sneak peek I love because it intrigues you. You're like, why? Because he brings up how he doesn't really like wolves. And you get the idea, you get that vibe from the last line, and that whole thing makes you intrigued. You're like, why don't you like wolves? And I thought of 2 things right away. 1, wolves, Romans. Okay, never mind. I'm jumping to the crossover too soon. We need to get through Norse myths first. Too soon to cross everything over. But the other interesting thing about that line is that after I read this, I went back up to admire the little cropped picture of the cover, and I noticed this. So I'm just going to use my phone for this. But you see that blue right here? Right? Kind of looks like a wolf now, doesn't it? Interesting that he says that he doesn't like wolves, except it looks like this wolf is protecting him. Really interesting. So I really, really wonder. As for the sneak peek, so Margus Chase, he lost his mom, so his mom is dead, and that's one thing we find out. And he also like lives on the streets, but has like this very rich uncle, and he doesn't like his rich uncle, and you kind of can see it almost like Robin Hood in a way, because to get by he steals, but he only steals from like the richest of the rich who have more than they need. That's who he steals from. And in this chapter 2, from what I understand, he's breaking into his uncle's mansion, because I guess like their grandparents, when they died, they left it to him, and well, obviously the other two, one being Annabeth's dad, went separate ways. The other two, Margus's mom, who we don't really have a name for yet, and Frederick, Annabeth's dad. I just tried to double check that, and they only refer to him as Dr. Chase and Mr. Chase, so I'm going to assuming here, that his first name is Frederick, because they brought up how it was Frederick and like Randolph and, well, Margus's mom, because he never mentions what his mom's name was. Obviously, like, you know, after that, their parents died, they went off, and now he's breaking into the mansion. And really, it's interesting to hear him talk about it, because, you know, he's bringing up, like, you know, there's all these artifacts in there, artifacts, like Viking artifacts. And that's, like, where you're like, oh, something's gonna go down with the Norse gods. Like, before it cuts off, and you're just like, no, don't leave it there, not there. And it makes me very curious, because that was chapter 2. That was part of chapter 2, but what about chapter 1? How does this whole thing start if that's chapter 2? You get a feel for Margus, and he's, like, very smart, because they bring up his grades, and, I'm sorry, when they brought up his grades, and they were going, and he remembered how his mom told him that he could be just as smart or even smarter than both his uncles, who are both professors, and we know that Dr. Chase is the professor, and, you know, his other uncle, Randolph, like, taught at Harvard, so we know that they're both smart. The fact that she was like, you could be smarter than them, one, shows that he's very smart, and two, made me go, but your cousin, on the other hand, yeah, Annabeth, probably not. She's smarter than you. She's daughter of the goddess of wisdom. She's smarter than you. So we know that he's smart, and he's obviously also got some street, so book smart, he's good, and he obviously has some street smarts, because he's been living on the streets for, I'm not too sure if they said how long his mom had been dead for, but it mentioned that, like, he never went to his uncle for help, because his mom, like, never really liked his uncle. Maybe, like, his uncle's hiding some Viking stuff, and she's, like, trying to protect him by cutting it off with him. I'm speculating here, I don't know. Really, let's be honest, for all we know, with Dr. Chase having met a Greek goddess, and then her having a brainchild, which is his child, too, and, yeah, you get it, it's complicated, but moving on with, so he had a daughter with a Greek goddess. You have the sister having a son with a Norse goddess. I swear, if the other uncle is related to the Egyptian House of Life at all, crossover starting, and it's gonna be awesome. But I don't think it is. I think that he knows something about it, and maybe has like a portal to the 9 realms or 9 worlds, or I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. That could be what he's there for. Maybe he's talking to like a Norse god when he gets there, and they're going to reference a bunch of things from other places. I don't really know, because it was barely, Rick Riordan's chapters are long, but I don't know. And I know for sure that he's going to meet someone of mythology in there, because the title name is The Guy in a Metal Bra. Yeah, I'm serious. The thing is called The Man with the Metal Bra. That is the chapter name for chapter 2, and I love that we're going back to these hilarious chapter names. They always are so much fun. So, you know he's gonna meet someone, or if that's his uncle. Huh? But obviously, just based off the cover, it looks cool, and I think that it was perfect to place that one with it, especially because of that wolf part, and I love the whole thing. I cannot wait for this book to come out. The cover looks great. I don't know if that sword he's holding is the Sword of Summer, but the cover looks amazing. I gotta say, it looks amazing, and I cannot wait for it to come out so that I can read it. And just reading it, like knowing that you can cross these things over with the Egyptian and the Greek and the Roman stuff, it makes you wonder, it makes you think, especially like how are they going to cross this over? Are they going to make references like they did before? Are they going to actually have Margus maybe even meet a character, like he runs into a satyr and the satyr's like, oh no wait, you're Norris, awkward. The question I have is like, is there a place for Norris children, or is like, they're not, or is it like there's just not that many Norris kids out there? And how, and the other question, oh you know this question's gonna come up, how many Avenger references are they gonna make, because it is 2015, pop culture references are going to be made. How many Avenger references are they going to make? That is the big question. And this, just reading it and thinking like, thinking that he's Annabeth's cousin, it makes you go, I cannot wait to see everything just cross over. And him and Percy would, I actually think they would get along fine, but I cannot wait to see this. I honestly cannot wait to read this and see where it's going, because it looks like a blast from the past thing where you're going back to the beginning, but also it's one of those things where it's like, is this a one book series? Is it a trilogy? Is it 5 books? You can't tell, because it seems like the Sword of Summer could save everyone, but is he trying to get to the Sword of Summer, and then is it gonna, it's probably gonna end on a cliffhanger? Because Rick Riordan and his cliffhangers. Oh my god. If he was a god, he'd probably be the god of cliffhangers, let's be honest. Like, that's what he would be, the god of cliffhangers. If you ever need help with cliffhanger, go ask him. He probably helps other authors with his cliffhangers too. But he loves cliffhangers. He left that short part off on a cliffhanger, because you're like, where's this guy with the metal bra? What is he doing? Does he run into anyone? Does he get caught in his house? Like, what do these things mean? Does he find out who his dad is? And let's just go to who his dad could be. Like, honestly, my first thought was kind of honestly Loki. Just honestly, right off the bat, I don't know many Norse gods, but that was the one I went to. Just based off of everything else, it's like, it seems he goes with people who are pretty well known, but you never know. He could go with like a more minor god for him, but then again, like, you know, usually the ones of like the bigger gods and like the major gods are the ones, those are the kids who are like, you must do this to save the world, because yeah. So maybe Loki, possibly Thor, possibly. I definitely not Odin. You know, if you got any other thoughts, throw them out there, but I will post the link to this in the description below if you want to go read it. You really should go read it, especially if you cannot wait for it to come out. It is making me go, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. I am so excited for Margus Chase and the Gods of Asgard to start. And that is all for this time. I've ranted a lot about that because I'm so excited for this. I really am. Like, I was kind of skeptical, especially because in the description they're like, it's for 10 to 14-year-olds, but I'm like, but it seems like it can't, because he actually does swear in it, so, and I'm talking in English, he swears in English, so I'm like, whoa. Okay, so this still could be for the older kids, and obviously, and one of my friends actually did say that the books seem childish, and I'm like, well, of course they are. They're written for middle schoolers, but they appeal to everyone. Really, they really do. It's like Dr. Seuss. Childish, but they appeal to everyone. So this is going to be a really awesome book, and I just cannot wait for the crossovers to happen, because Rick Riordan, please, please, please just cross over these things already. I know you have been, you're teasing at it, but I still really think he's going to do. Yep, here's an Avenger reference, the first one for you. He's going to do an Avenger-style crossover where there's going to be something really big or really bad, and they're all going to have to help each other to defeat it. Or it's going to start from one person's perspective, and maybe it's going to be like Margus's perspective, where he accidentally stumbles upon the House of Life, and then Carter and Sadie come and are like, okay, we need the help of the Greeks, and he's like, whoa, 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 Greeks? And then they go there, and he finds Annabeth, and Annabeth is like, I'm so excited, I dropped my phone. And Annabeth is like, you're my cousin. And he's like, what? And whoever Margus's dad is going to be like, what? And it's going to be like, wow, this is why we don't think about how the gods are related. This is why right here. And then they're going to go, and then they're going to get the help of the Romans, and Margus's head's just going to be just migraine, because he's going to be like, I just learned about the Norse. Now you're telling me that the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans are out there too? You know that's going to happen. So, in the end, Margus seems like a pretty cool guy so far, you know, not that bad of a person, very interesting, has an interesting past. I want to know more, you know, you guys know me, I like the mysterious characters. And that is all I have for you today. Watch out for the next character review, or the next world review. And if you've got a series that you would like me to start reading and review, I will. I'm currently reading The Throne of Glass right now, so once I finish that book, we're going to go through and talk about the characters in that book, and I'm going to keep reading it in that series. I'm going to go book by book. And so obviously I'm going to be doing that with Margus Chase and the Gods of Asgard once they come on out, but it's not out yet. We still got to wait like 5 to 6 more months, but we're almost there. Almost there. This isn't as bad for Blood of Olympus, because Blood of Olympus was, you don't know what's coming, but Margus Chase, like, you don't know what's coming either, and this is kind of getting everyone pumped up for it, and I'm excited to read it. So that's it for today. Watch out for the next character review. Watch out for the next world review. And if you have a book you would like me to read, tell me in the comment section below, and in the description below you can find that sneak peek of the cover and of Chapter 2 to Margus Chase and the Gods of Asgard on USA Today Life Twitter. So thanks for watching. Bye!